Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're actually finally, yay, doing diamonds. Um, Excuse me if I cough during this because I've been sick. So just in case that happens. So there's two different ways that I've done diamonds, and I like them both, honestly. I did one for the rose gold tutorial that I did. And it's a very light, very iridescent looking. And I really, really like it. And then the other I did with the November one that I did. It has a lot more color. It's a lot more intriguing, I think. So we'll go through it and I'll tell you how to do them both. And then you just kind of pick and choose how you want to do them. And go from there. Once you know how, it's not a big deal to adapt it, to change it, to do it your own way. So, excuse me. I have a whole range of colors here, and I'll tell you about them. So, for both of them, you'll be using these colors. Here I have, I believe this is sky blue, light yellow glaze, cold gray 3, and cold gray 5. So I have a light and a dark gray, light blue, and a light yellow. So that's for both of them. We'll be using these pencils. And then optionally, I have a whole bunch of colors. I have light purple pink, right? Yeah. Alizarian crimson. I don't think I'm saying that right, but whatever. Orange glaze and leaf green. So those are my colors for the others optionally, depending on how much color you want to put into your diamond. So, I also have my gel pen, my trusty gel pen, as always. And because this is a bigger one, I used the Uniball Signal on it. When I did this one, because it was smaller, I think I used my gel pen. So, my Jelly Roll gel pen. So, let's get started. I've started with both of them using the blue to kind of start going around and just giving the diamond color in general. And I've just gone around the center here. In both of these, and just kind of, I don't know, almost following the lines in most of these with the blue. Because I think that a lot of diamonds, especially like the clearer colorless, generally do have quite a bit of blue in them. Blue is the shortest, when you look on the light spectrum, blue has the shortest wavelength, which means it spreads out the easiest and the most and the quickest, which is why clear things generally have a blue or bluish tint, such as the sky, the ocean, clear things like crystals and diamonds and stuff like that. That's the reason why, is because the color blue has the shortest wavelength, which I think is kind of cool. It's also my favorite color, in case you want to know. But I just go along and I'm just following a whole bunch of the lines and just giving color to the diamond in general. Since it's so light, it's really nice to just put kind of everywhere. Excuse me. And gotta continue this all the way around. And then if you've followed along with my Patreon for a while now, you've also seen the tiny diamonds tutorial. I think I did as like a test for a live stream or something. But basically you're putting on the you're using the grays to facilitate an idea of sparkle. I think I used grays and black in that, and I'm not using black on these because these are much bigger, but you could if you wanted to for the dark instead of using one of the dark grays, or just add it on and use it tastefully. I don't know. I haven't used black on them, so just go with what you want. So this is Cold Gray 3, so my lighter gray. And as you can see in this one, I'm bringing it up here so you can see this. I've just used, just like we did with the tiny diamonds, and just gone in outward strokes and just put in those little striations to kind of make it look like the bottom of the diamond, the pavilion facet, where it's going to just come up and look like it's sparkling out from the middle. So I've just gone along and done these little striations pretty much everywhere, actually. And do them all towards the middle. If you want to deviate from that and do like stylized ones or something, I'm sure you could. Like if you wanted to take all of these facets and do all of your striations like this, you could do that as well. Like do them all towards the middle of this. I don't know. You could, I'm sure. Like there's no real wrong way to do it. So this is the way that I've figured out to do them, so this is the way that I'm doing them for now, until I find out a better way, of course. And if you come up with a better way, definitely make a video and show us all, because that would be awesome. And also, if you have favorite color combinations that you like in your diamonds, or in any of your gems, actually, make sure you let everybody know. Post in GemHose and tell everyone, because that's what we're all about, is just sharing information. And yes, mine sometimes comes on Patreon or on Etsy because, well, this is how I make my living. But if I didn't have to pay bills and stuff, I would just put everything on here for free all the time, because I would love to do that, and I kind of can't. So, but I do love to share as much as I can, whenever I can, for you guys. Okay, so we've kind of got that done. And I know this is all really, really light, so it's kind of hard for you guys to see. So I'm hoping this helps. Does that help? Can you see that better? Okay, so gonna go in, put this over here, with my darker gray, and then I'm going to start in some of the corners and kind of give some depth and shadow to some of the corners and some of the sides of the facets. And I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to do some more lines. So I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to be doing some of these and just darkening some of the lines that are already here. You can put in new ones if you want, but just giving them more weight, I guess, they go darker, they feel like they're heavier, maybe. So just want to give them a little bit more substance to just some of these. Now, in this one, because it's lighter, I only did that in small bits. And in this one, I did it much heavier, as you can see. I also scribbled this one a whole lot faster. But you can see that I did a whole bunch of the much darker toned gray in here to really give it that, I don't know, give it something. I was giving it things. I really have been sick. My mind is like not here today. This is the first day I'm trying to like get back in the swing of things. So pardon me for my mind being like really slow. And not using the words exactly as I want to use them. So I'm just going in here and giving some more of the lines and some shadow. And the other thing is that remember that when you're working with it like this, it's going to look darker. And then when you take out the black lines, it will look a lot lighter because of the black. Just changing the black from the white, it will look a lot lighter when you take out the black lines. So don't be afraid to go a little bit darker than you think you ought to, because it gives it a whole different look when you do take out the black. Now for me, because I actually like draw these a lot of the time, I will draw them in pencil, and that way you don't even really see the lines when I color them. And that's how I often do them. But I do it like this so that you can be able to put it into your coloring books and stuff like that. Because they're all, you can't change the way they're printed or anything. So that's why I do them like this. If you do want to draw your own, I know that I've put the step out for these kind of diamonds in Gem Hose. It's also in, there's also a video about it, I think, that I did that showed you how to draw out the diamonds, like what the actual steps were that I took. Excuse me. I'm going to do some shadowing in here just for the fun of it. And you could, if you have noticed, I'm not putting shadow and shade in every single one, just quite a few of them, but definitely not every single one of them. Why? Well, because I don't want it to be so consistent it looks like a pattern. If anything, the only pattern I would want to see in a diamond would be the actual facets themselves. I wouldn't want it to look so like, this is how you do this facet, this is how you do this facet, and you just repeat on the whole thing. I like a little bit of variety. So I like to randomize things. Oh well. Okay, go to light yellow glaze, and I'm going to do some of the lines with this, but I'm also just kind of coloring with it. And I don't want a lot, I want to more like highlight things. One of the things is yellow is a very complementary type color to blue. So the yellow makes the blue pop more, and the blue makes the yellow pop more. So it's kind of a balance to help give that iridescence field for your eye. You don't have to do it light, you don't have to do it dark, you can do it whatever way you want. And I think I want some blue down in here, just for the fun of it. If you go over the yellow, you'll notice it turns kind of green, which is kind of fun. There we've got a little bit of blue in the middle. Again, this is so light. I hope you guys are seeing this okay. Alright, so this is what it looks like now. I'm trying to give the camera time to focus. And you can leave it like this, and it looks really great. If you want to add some pink or some of the orange to it, excuse me, go ahead and do that. And I would just do like little tiny bits of it, since these are more potent colors. And you don't see a lot of like super potent colors in diamonds unless you are really looking at it in a highlight, or you're looking at moissanite. The coloring in diamonds is called fire, and moissanite actually has 10 times the fire of diamonds. It's one of my favorites. It would be what I prefer, would be in my wedding ring set. But it is not. These, in case you're wondering, are not diamonds. They are white sapphires. I have a thing for sapphires. So, I also don't actually like diamonds because of the huge industry that they are in and all the things that surround them, like the blood diamond trade, as well as the fact that 1% of the world controls all the diamonds. They also have huge vaults where they have, they collect diamonds to keep them off the market so that they can drive up or down the price of diamonds as they wish. Yes, I do research things to an nth extent because it interests me. So, yes, I have researched this. If you don't believe me, that's cool. That's a good thing. Go research it yourself and you can find out. So, I'm going to go ahead and take out my black lines now with my gel pen. And this will take a hot minute because it looks like my gel pen's decided that today is a good day to work. So that's awesome. If you have problems with your gel pen, I do have a video about that and how you can help get it to work, and different types of gel pens, tips and tricks and stuff. It is on YouTube. So just click the Vitruvian art and you can go find all of my videos. Yeah, it's working pretty good. But do you see what I mean about like how dark it feels and how it gets a lot lighter? Like no matter how dark you thought you had it? Yeah. It's a thing, it happens. I'm not really sure why, other than just the dark, but the black lines themselves, taking them out makes the entire gem feel a lot lighter, which is cool. And I mean, in real life, gems don't actually have black lines. They don't really have white lines either, but they do reflect light, which shows up a lot of times as white. So, I really do like to research things like it's an obsession. When I find something I like, I try and go find out as much as I can about it. And if I think that's all there is to learn, then, I'll move on to something else. But because these have gems and diamonds and all that stuff has just become such a big part of my life, I watch documentaries on this crap, okay? Like, I watch documentaries, I go research on the internet, I find out a ton of things. I'm in like gemology type course things online. Like I really do have to find out things. If I'm not learning something, I feel like I will die. So unless I am dying, like when I'm sick, I'm like, then I just want to veg out in front of the TV. But there we go. All my white lines. And that makes it look pretty stinky good, I think. I like it like that. Very, very light, very airy. That's a lot more like this one. If you want to do it like one of the faceted gems from the master class, like I did with this one, don't forget your white ones, your white blocked in ones, your sparkles. I did a couple of sparkles. We can do some sparkles. And I just kind of flick it out here. If you start it here and then just kind of drag your gel out and then just kind of come up, it gives it that little tapered leg, which makes it look more like a sparkle and less like just a line, which I find helpful. But that's how I make a sparkle. And then we can white out one of these if we want to. There's not a lot of directionality with these, so that's totally optional. It's up to you as to whether you want to do it or not. As for the other colors, if you want to go and bring in, a red and do some more of these little, just like highlighted spots where there's more color, feel free to do that. That's what I did with this other one. And I showed you it's got a lot more color in it. I did just like the little lines with the colors. I just did some corners. Just a little bit of almost like shading with these, just where you just color it in just a little bit and just give it that little pop. And it's just tiny, tiny, tiny bits of color. It's not a lot. If you feel like it needs more blue or more gray, go put that in there. Just make it feel, just take a step back, look at it, look at it through your phone viewer, like turn on your camera and look at it through there. It'll give you a little bit more of a perception of how this looks photographed and stuff, and that will help you, maybe see, oh, I want some more color here, or I don't want color here, or whatever, just to adapt your diamond to what you would like to see. So that's my tutorial on diamonds. Yes, this is really big. I did that on purpose so that you guys could see it. So here you go. Focus. There you go. So you can see that it's still really rough. Like I didn't go in and blend any of this. And I think it looks just fine like that. So there you go. And I hope that looks like the diamond you wanted it to look. So make sure you do your own. And if you have any questions, comments, as always, put them down there. I look at every single one of them, I promise. I don't always answer because I sometimes get busy and think that I've answered and I haven't. But I do try. So, I'll see you next time. Bye.